Music has benefits, I'm not your ordinary cheat. I've got a lot of love to share with blue short and nappy hair. Taking time to let you know I'm my own kind of beautiful. So get your sexy girl, don't just be ashamed. Plus size is so wonderful. Music has benefits, I'm not your ordinary cheat. I've got a lot of love to share with blue short and nappy hair. Taking time to let you know I'm my own kind of beautiful. So get your sexy girl, don't just be ashamed.
Hey everybody, welcome to Jamila Jay's Girl Talk. It's Sunday. Hey Lay, how are you? We have a special guest, Miss JOYA, all the way from Detroit. How you doing, JOYA?
Hey, how are you? I'm doing well. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. JOYA's here, Lay. She's a songwriter. She's an entrepreneur. And she's a singer. So this is going to be a great show. This is going to be a really great show. But guess what, you guys? It is raining in Southern California. And I love the rain. So I'm happy.
Well, they said that they got a song out. There's no rain in Southern California.
It never rains in sunny California. It's raining today. We need the rain. I love the rain. It clears the atmosphere.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have yesterday I cooked some gumbo. So when it rains, I like gumbo. So I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in for the day. So let's get on with the show. Miss JOYA, so nice of you to be with us.
Thank
you. I'm so excited to meet you. So I always start off with the interview. Where were you born and where do you live?
I was born in Detroit, Michigan. I live in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, Atlanta.
Yes.
Now, how long have you been in Atlanta?
I've been here for quite some time. I moved here from Queens in 06, 07. So I've been here since then. Yeah.
Lay?
Yeah.
Listen, I can't believe you moved from New York to Atlanta. I cannot believe that.
Yes. I moved from New York to Atlanta.
Moving from New York to Atlanta.
What'd you say, Lay? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Why you moved from New York to Atlanta?
Well, several reasons. One, I was just coming out of a divorce. So I think that's as good enough a reason as any.
Oh, you were trying to get away now.
Well, no, just a fresh start. And then the second thing, I got accepted to Spelman. So
okay.
yeah, so that
That's
was
a good thing.
yeah. So I said if I didn't get accepted, we would have moved to Brooklyn. So
Okay, yeah. The reason why I asked that, because a lot of people from New York move down to Atlanta,
yes,
and the reason why they do that, because the economics, the cost of living is so high in New York,
yeah,
and in my opinion, the reason why they move. And it be the economic, because a lot of them, they not hustlers.
correct.
Plus, if you in the music industry, is no way. If you in any type of industry,
Mm-hmm.
with entertainment,
Yeah.
I will not leave New York.
Really?
Yeah.
Atlanta is the new Hollywood, Lay.
Check this out.
Did you get the memo?
Let me tell you why. Check this out.
Yeah, it was a New Yorker who got me here. I was gonna say.
Yeah. Listen, let me tell you why. Look at the anatomy, a person anatomy. What make the anatomy work? The heart.
Mm-hmm.
If the heart is not working, nothing in the anatomy is working at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying that as a scenario of the United States. If New York is not working, there's no state in the United States going to function.
I agree. Yeah.
I think.
No, wait a minute. I don't care where you go. If you are artist and you're moving somewhere, if you are artist and you're in fashion, your check's gonna come from New York.
Right.
So why should I leave where my checks are coming from, where everything is at, to go somewhere else? It just doesn't make sense unless I'm just not really a hustler.
Yeah,
I'll let you answer that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think from somebody who spent more than a decade in the New York tri-state area, and lived in both Jersey and, New York, but not a native New Yorker. I think New York is beautiful. The other thing about that is, like, I think when you're young, you appreciate it, right? Mm-hmm. Because it's moving at the speed that you are moving. But once you start to, maybe a decade, 15 years or so, I'll even give it 20 years. It starts getting real. It's different catching that train. It's different getting that bus. It's going to be different in the winter. It's going to be different. It's just a difference. So I think there's cycles to life. Me being, originally from Michigan, I say the same thing about my hometown. I'm moving to London before I'm moving back to Detroit. So I know that conversely, like when I talk to a lot of New Yorkers that live here, they would say, like, I'm never going back. I would say, listen, if I hit the lotto, just give me a good brownstone and just have somebody to get my snow. I'll be, and I'm good to go. So I just think it's probably like the cycles of life. Atlanta slows things down just a touch. I don't know. I think it's that's a myth that it's cheaper. It is not cheaper. You just get more. Like, I think what's so appealing to a New Yorker is that you come and you pay, $200,000 for, a unit, wherever the unit is. You're going to get 5 times that space, right? Food is the same. Everything is maybe not gas, but food is the same. The price of clothes is the same. If you go to, Whole Foods, it's going to be the same. Coffee is $11, $13. You'll be like into shock. But I think it's just the space is what draws New Yorkers. Yep.
And the hotels are expensive too in Atlanta. You got to pay some kind of extra tax and all that. Yeah.
I know a lot of people that was living in Atlanta that was models. And they told me, Lane, I am so glad I left Atlanta.
Wow.
I said, why? She said, because Atlanta is so small. Everybody know everybody, and nobody is getting nowhere. Wow. Listen, that girl got up in New York. She been moving around so much, man. Before I know it, I seen her on TV and commercials and everything. Then I ran into her. I called up and said, let's sit down and talk. She said, Lane, I was up here and I was so excited about the things I seen. I went to the agencies. I told the agencies what I wanted them to do. She said that the agency was so enthused about her that they just signed her and she just took off.
Okay.
I think modeling would be different though, in terms of, there is a lot of agencies in New York. That's like the hub of the fashion district, but I mean the fashion, fashion business, but as acting, singing, I mean, I think Atlanta is outdoing California in terms of acting because everybody's out in Atlanta,
Well,
and with Tyler Perry,
you probably have a lot of people, because Atlanta really is new into the acting. You probably have a lot of people doing independent movies.
But you got Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is everything.
Tyler Perry already have, the people that he want. Maybe once in a while he might pick up a couple of new people, but you got to come out of there. You got to get signed to agency somewhere else to really take off.
Go ahead, Joya. What's your response? I think maybe it's different as a musician. How is Atlanta in terms of the music industry?
I think it's great. I mean, I think it's great. To Lay's point, I can definitely see what he's saying because we've come up in this thing knowing that it's between LA and New York. I mean, it's just like fashion, and you're going to be hard pressed to break that. But as time moves forward, we got different hubs popping up, and I think just Atlanta has been growing. It's probably the culture, right? It's like you got, there's a culture in LA, there's a culture in New York, there's a culture in Chicago, there's a culture in, Detroit. And so I think that people, maybe when they come here, it's kind of like, do you know how when people come overseas to America and they're like, oh, their eyes just light up and they're like, whoa. And you're like, okay, you may travel to Africa or from wherever you're like, it's beautiful over here. Yeah. But culturally, there may be more opportunities. So I think that Atlanta probably speaks to that, as you said, with film, right? There are a lot of tax breaks here for production houses. So it makes perfect sense. Now, when we talk about indie, like Tubi and all indie movies, Detroit is leading. Nobody would probably know that if they hadn't been digging to find that out. But no one is doing better in the independent movie scene than Detroit. They've got it on lock. It's just that's just the way it is. So I can understand where what Leia's saying, definitely, and I think that there's promise here just because it's so big and a lot of what's happening is new. So it's like people are breaking ground and people want to be a part of that.
Yeah. Tell us how you started singing. How long have you been singing?
Professionally, I started in like 95, 96. So I've been singing professionally for that long. But I've been singing since I was a child. Like most singers, I grew up in the church. And yeah, so I met Vincent Herbert in Detroit in the studio while he was working with the Winans. And that's
Tamara's husband, right? Tamara Braxton's ex-husband?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you worked with him for how long?
Worked with Vince for a while from like 90, that was like 93 when we met. I worked with him as like a songwriter and background singer. And when we met, he was like, stick with me. I'm going to show you the ropes. You're going to be like a background singer and songwriter for a little while, but hang in there and you'll get a record deal. And everything happened exactly as he said it would. So
did you get a record deal?
Yeah.
With who?
Signed to Universal.
You still signed?
I'm still signed, but I'm not signed to Universal as an artist. No.
What did you sign as?
Today?
Yeah.
Publisher.
Oh, okay.
Wow. So who, as you were coming up with Vince, you background for who? Which artists?
When I was coming up with Vince, I did backgrounds for like Bobby Brown, Tony Braxton, different projects that he would be working on, like Monifa. So, and we did a lot of demo. I did like a lot of demo work. I worked with him, Reggie and Ronald Burrell, who Burrell Brothers out of Newark, New Jersey. And yeah, it was fun. It was a good time. It was a good time. I mean, I kept backgrounds going, because that's like my first love. So I've worked with a lot of artists there in the tri-state area. Artists that were out at that time. So like Tragedy Gaddafi or, Horace and I ended up touring with Mary. So it was exciting. Very exciting. Yeah. I really love music. Love it a lot.
Background is so important. I just always, when I'm in the car, I'm singing. I'm a background singer too. I love the background. And mostly if you go to a concert, I went to see Lettucey several times. I love her, but her background singers could sing just as good as she could.
Yeah.
Most of the time. They're just like in the background, just waiting for a chance to just blow,
Yes.
So that's important.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Background singer has to have, I guess, a certain amount of discipline, right? Whereas like the lead singer can be like all over the place. But background,
a lot of our great singers used to be background singers.
Right. Yeah. Or choir singers. Yep. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
And when they got in the front light, that was it.
Yeah.
They just poured up.
Oh, definitely. I think Kelly Price started as a background singer. Yeah. And then blew our socks off.
I think
Luther Vandross.
Yeah.
I think he background for Roberta Flack, Tim Warwick. So what is the most, I guess, exciting thing about the music industry from your perspective? What do you love the most?
Oh boy. What I love the most is the stage.
Okay.
Nothing like it. It's like you're in another world. You left Earth. You're not even here anymore. And even though you can see the faces and see the lights, you kind of understand what's going on, but then you're gone. You're somewhere else. Wow. You are really in another stratosphere for however many minutes. It's hard to explain, but I know you understand what I'm saying. Like it's like you're conscious of what's going on, but you're somewhere else, like so far removed.
You know what? If I was ever a singer, they will have to come and take me off that stage. hey, listen, I'm not jobbing. I will be like that kid. What's his name? JoJo. JC.
Yeah.
Man, you get him on that stage, man. He ain't coming off.
Right.
Remember when James Brown was out? When James Brown younger years, you had to come and get James Brown. He would not leave.
Yeah.
That would be me.
Yeah.
They would have to come and get me off that stage.
Yeah. That's for sure. Yeah. So I would say that.
I understand what she's saying because I can imagine.
Yeah, you're in that zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in the zone. What is the most challenging was the most challenging for you?
I think the most challenging when I didn't understand it was like I don't want to say politics, but I'll just say business, the business side of things. I think that's why I got so enamored with it, like later on. So it's challenging to not understand because you when you're an artist and you're starting out, you feel like if you're working really hard, everything's going to work out just fine.
Right.
That's what if you just grind until you just exhaust yourself, it is gonna be picture perfect. And when everything goes left, it can't take the wind out of you because if you're a worker bee, you're like, what did I do? Why? But that's just because you just don't understand it from a business perspective.
Well, in the industry, and I'm talking about artists, you have a lot of artists out there that can't rap, can't sing, and you have a lot to do. And I'm saying to say that it's not what you know, it's who you know to make things work. That's how New York is. I know that's how New York is. New York would not mess with you if they don't know you.
Right.
But if they see you with somebody they know,
right,
they will say, oh, yo, think of that girl used to be with Late. She's a singer, so and so and so. Because all of that take place in the studio. They will say, yo, let's get in contact with her and let's get her up there.
Yeah.
So that's how they work.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right. Were you referring to per se, I don't know, I'm just asking this question, how artists get these bad contracts like TLC? We can go on and on how they worked, but was not making any money. I know that could be very disheartening.
Yes, absolutely. That's a great, I think that's a great example of it. Definitely. It can be a myriad of situations. It could be, I remember one time I was doing a radio promo tour and I was working, and the label forgot to schedule a break within the tour. That stayed out on the road for 20 more dates longer than I was supposed to, back to back to back, every night. So I had gotten sick. My throat had started to give out, and I had an important city to go to that I had high spins at that time, and I could go, but I just couldn't. I knew I wasn't going to be able to perform, and at that time we didn't have the things that singers have now. You can go get like cortisone and you be right back, right back at it. At least for that 3 minutes and however you need to perform. So I couldn't do it, and I remember I got dropped from that station.
Oh my God!
Yep, because I
couldn't. Wow.
So those kind of things come to my mind, but if you understand it from a business perspective, you're like, yeah, because they have somebody that they have to answer to too. So if it's a book date and it's scheduled, and here you are, not too far before everything's supposed to go down, and you're saying, I'm sick.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want them to do? What do you want the sponsors to do? What do you want do you see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you have to be able to see both sides. So.
Yeah, that's part of time management.
Yeah.
That's a tough life though. That being on the road, and there was an interview I saw with Keisha Cole. Keisha Cole is from Oakland, so I follow her. So she was in one of those she had a radio interview, but she was very nasty, very short.
Yeah.
Yes, no answers. And the guy, the disc jockey said, "Well, why are you here?
Yeah.
You're not, giving us anything."
Right.
And she said something similar to what you said. She said, "I didn't even know I was supposed to be here. I've been on the road. I drove from Detroit to here, blah 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 blah, and I didn't even know."
Yeah.
So that's a tough life.
It's
it's a
so
tough
hard.
life.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is not a. Listen, the road is no joke. So for any artist, doesn't matter, male or female, that's out there, consistently, have to tip my hat, because it's a lot, traveling is a lot. You guys know that. I mean, you both know that. After a while, it's like it's not glamorous. I don't care. You got to get in transportation and get to that airport, and then get from the, door to the run, to the port, to board the plane, or even if you're flying private. I mean, altitude, in the altitude, out of the altitude. So I can.
You know what?
Different time zones, and
absolutely. But one more point I wanted to make about that Keisha Cole interview, because you said something that's very important. That's the divide that I was talking about. See, when you understand it from another perspective, you get there and you got to drop that at the door, because they have no idea. They don't know you drove from Detroit to, to wherever.
All night. Yeah, you drove all night to get here, and it's a tough life.
Yeah.
How long have you ever stayed on the road?
That was the longest. 40.
How long was that?
40. That was 45 cities.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, after doing 45 cities, at the end of the day, the money looked good. But
that was promo.
Promo. But all right, it's promo. But now what you're doing, you're bringing awareness of who you are just around the United States, and that's even good. Now, when you come out with something, you're just gonna blow up. So you have to look at the bigger picture. And I always say,
correct,
when a person is traveling like that, it has to be a plan, and management have to be involved, because if they're not looking out for the artists, then something's wrong.
Yeah.
The record label going to do whatever they could do if you let them do that.
Yes. So super important. Absolutely. Right. Yep. Super important. I totally agree.
So how did you make the transition from singer to songwriter, or was it simultaneously?
That was, I think, well, if I'm being honest about it, I think around town, I just started really getting lucky, call it luck or blessed. I think people could see my work ethic. And I just think that I had a lot of key people who just really wanted to give me a chance. They liked me because I was just a worker. I just wouldn't stop. I have 6 jobs. I'd be leaving. It just was anything. I could hear anything. It's an audition, and I'm working, I'm temping, I'm leaving the job, I'm catching the train, I'm there. So I think they just liked, I think they liked it. And then it was like a natural transition.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were grinding. Yeah.
Grinding with a capital G. Yep.
And I think when people see you do that, they're going to reach out and help you.
Yes.
Yeah. They're gonna say, wow, she's a hard worker. Yeah. And they're gonna be able to use your talents.
Absolutely. Yes. A lot of angels, I'll say, like sitting on my shoulder. I have to say that because I couldn't paint a picture like, oh, damn the industry, or, it's just rotten, or no, I actually had a lot of people like really looking out for me. If I look at how things could turn out conversely, I have to say now, wow, whoa, you got out of that one. You was all right. You know, you were all right. From the label to, I'm not saying everything was like a bed of roses, because there were some things that was like, oh man, you know, that happened. But for the most part, I had a lot of people looking out for me, a lot.
You know, a lot of time people think that the labels don't know what's going on. What I know, dealing with the black labels, they keep their eyes on their ears to the streets.
Right.
They know who doing what and how they doing it and how much impact they making.
Right.
Their ears to the streets.
Yeah.
They know who doing what and how they doing it.
Sorry.
And how much impact they making.
Sorry.
Jamila, is that you?
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, it's a feedback. Go ahead.
So, how you doing in Atlanta now? You're getting a lot of interviews, a lot of gigs and stuff like that down there.
Yeah, Atlanta's good. I mean, when I came down here more like as a songwriter, and then since then transitioned to like having my own company. Like I say, I'm signed to was my last year. So actually I'm not signed. So I got to get that in my head. This is my last year in my contract. So I was signed to Cobalt.
What you going to do after your contract? What you going to do after your contract?
Well, I have my own company. I started that company once I got signed with them. So, okay. Yeah.
So you're going to be signed to your company?
As an artist?
Yes.
We'll see. We'll see what I decide to do. I haven't released anything in quite some time because I'm really focused on the business end of it. Like I said, my company started in 2018, so I've been building that, and so I'm pretty much coaching right now other artists.
Oh, okay.
That takes priority.
Tell us about that. Your new venture, your coaching business.
Yeah, it's called the Friendship Society, and I work with artists, helping them to understand monetization, publishing, royalties, just the business infrastructure, how to plan and strategize. I probably had every deal in that there is to have in this music business. P&D deal. I've been signed to Nile Rodgers. I got inked for one album with 3 different deals, one in Japan and 2 here, and another one for licensing and sync. So for the last 20 plus years, I've been behind the scenes quietly, just kind of like making moves, doing 4 commercials and things like that. So I kind of started to learn back then when people would know me. I didn't have anything. I had no money, nothing. But everybody knew me. But then as things started to quiet down, then I started to see the money. So once I could see 6 figures, I was like, wow, this is, I never seen this as a signed artist. Okay. Now let me dig in a little deeper. So once I got it, I was like, okay, I got to pay it forward. I want to work with artists. Because I really, I had a chance, Jelly Bean Benitez and Butter, maybe back in 90, I think like 99 or something like that. I had worked with every artist on their label, like vocal composing, writing, doing backgrounds, but I was structuring my own deal. So as we went along, wow. they were giving me the flexibility to do that. So, yeah. So
that's amazing. That's amazing. And now you want to help other artists do the same.
Yes, definitely. Yep.
Wow.
Yes.
Let's see if we have any feedback from our audience. I think we have a few questions here. Let's see if I can pull them up.
Okay.
Okay. Like, can you see them? Let's see if you can see them. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Sky.
Hey, Sky.
Let's see. This one. Can you read this? Can you read it, Lay, or you want me to read it?
Everyone indie artists and indie management rep company should turn into Jamila Jay friendship and associate pop up to be successful in the game.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. 20 years, you have a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, and to want to help other people, that's a blessing.
Yeah, no,
because there's a lot of bad deals that new artists get into. So that's a blessing. You want to help others.
But you got to understand, a lot of these artists, when they when somebody present a deal, a contract to them, what they do, they automatically sign without even reading it, or without even say, listen, let me take this contract with me and I get back with you in a week. So if they ever take the contract with them, all they have to do is take it to the attorney, give the attorney the number they've been speaking to, and the attorney take it from there. Yeah. But they so much excited about the contract being signed to a label, they just sign it. By the time they find out what's really going on in detail, it's too late.
I agree with you, but I'm gonna challenge you on that as well, Lay, because I really, so like there's gold in what you just said. Like what you just said, you're speaking from a veteran's perspective, right? Mm-hmm. You're speaking, that's you on autopilot because you innately know the business. So now you have no idea what you just said. When I get the contract, I'm gonna say, hold on, I'm gonna take this to a lawyer. Just stop right there. That piece right there that you just said, like that's gold, because no one understands. Hold on, wait right here. People are like, and do what? Oh, take it to a lawyer for what? To do what? You know what I'm saying? Like nothing is wrong. I can see it right here. It says I get X amount of dollars. So they feel like, okay, I can see the advance in here. Why would these people want to do business with me and hurt me? What is it to their advantage? Do you see what I'm saying? So there are so many complexities in there. Artists don't understand publishing. I talked to an artist 2-3 weeks ago that told me that they had, I'm not going to name the streams because I don't want to name the artist, but I'm just going to say they had about 120,000 streams on Spotify.
Wow.
And I was asking the artist, so which PRO are you with? Is it going to be ASCAP, BMI, or CSAC? And they asked me, what is a PRO?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow.
So I'm gonna be hard pressed to know. I know that if you're not even with ASCAP or BMI, I know you ain't getting no contracts looked over.
Yeah.
I know it.
JOYA, I have a question. So as a new artist, and I'm kind of gonna go maybe like rappers, there's a lot of new rappers out.
Sure.
So if you get this deal, they're going to give you like 100,000 just to sign, but it's really like they're going to take it back because of the studio and all these other expenses. But my question is, if as a new artist, I'm straight off the streets. Oh, I'm going to take this to a lawyer. would the record company kind of get intimidated and say, well, if you could take it to an attorney, we're gonna terminate the contract? Have you ever heard anything like that, or not?
Of course, absolutely.
Yeah,
All
that's why they may be afraid.
Yeah, all kind of story. And then maybe the record company would refer you to the attorney. I mean, there's so much to talk to artists about, right? So it's like you don't see any harm in that, because let's just say, I'll take it New York, for example. When I arrived there, I didn't know anybody. The only people I knew was the people I was signed to. So I'm relying on them to make sure they do right by me, because I'm in unfamiliar territory. It's not Detroit. You know what I mean? I'm here with you guys. You guys are supposed to be guiding me, but guiding my career. You know, that's part of your job. But so to kind of bypass a lot of happening to artists that really don't have to go through that, maybe have somebody that they can work with. You can consult with me. You can consult with me many different ways. But I always tell people when I'm talking to them, listen, every great athlete, as great as they were, you'll have to turn around and say, oh, who's coaching that team? Was it Pat Riley? Like who was coaching them? Right. Because when the coach comes in, all bets are off. If it's a great coach, you take a great coach and a great player, now you got gold, because you have somebody that understands how to pull the greatness out of them, and they're gonna work hard to make sure they can instill, I guess, not just a great athlete, but a great thinker, a great strategist. Like, you want the artist to continue to work with the league, or the guy, whoever it is, the basketball player or football player. You don't want them to get big and leave the league. You want them to continue. So if you can cultivate them and teach them the business of the NBA or the NFL, if you can get that, then I think you got gold on your hands.
But another thing, those guys have agents. They have somebody looking out for them. But when you said sometimes the record label will recommend your attorney, I remember on TLC, the same attorney that represented TLC represented Pebbles too. Right. So they will refer you to somebody that's in their pocket. Right. So they really need somebody objective, somebody that's on the outside looking in. So what type of artists do you represent? Is it any genre of music?
Any genre. It could be any genre. I've worked with comedians. I've worked with actresses. I've worked with people from my era. I've most recently, I've been having a lot of artists from like the hip hop era, maybe around my time, maybe a little before that, approach me and want to talk to me about things. I just have a great deal of respect for artists, no matter if they're new or if they've been in it for 20 plus years. I always see the artist as the boss, really. It's kind of like one of those things where it's like, you don't really know who you are. Everybody around you will tell you you're the worker, but you're really running it. You're really running everything. You're really running it. It's really not the label. It's really not the manager. It's not the A&R. You're not the boss. You're the boss, because you're the talent. And if you decide one day to say, I think I'm done.
Yeah, that's important. That's important. That's important for them to get that understanding.
Absolutely.
What do you think about, Lay and I, we talked about this, all these rappers that are being killed, murdered? Do you have any comment on that?
I think it's unfortunate. I mean, I know I speak for everybody when I say I think it hurts our hearts to see that. It hurts my heart to see it now. It hurted my heart to see it when it was like with Big and Pac. I mean, we cried. We really cried. Whether you knew them up close and personal or not, just because the promise of an individual.
Yeah.
So, you know, that makes me feel sad. But I'm also, when I see things like Coach Prime or, you know, Snoop or, you know, Master P, like working with these guys, I think that's amazing. It's like, get with these kids and teach them. I don't know about anybody else. I can't speak for. I know we all come from different walks of life, but I come from very humble beginnings. Really, basically, not a impoverished kid, but coming into the business with an impoverished mindset for sure. So the only thing I understood was a few things. I had to kind of learn those lessons. So, like I said, you know, wasn't for the grace of God and people being inserted in my life that just really wanted to see me win. Who knows? So everybody won't have that fortune. So I'm glad to see that there are people out there that really are like, look, I made my money. I don't want nothing from you. I just don't want to see you go down a bad path.
Yeah.
So that makes me happy.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. You have a very peaceful spirit, and I see why people probably went out of their way to help you, because you're very humble, and you just generate a lot of peace. And being in the business, you know, it's hard to, you know, really find somebody to trust, somebody who has your back, you know. And you have a very peaceful spirit. I see why people would probably trust you and, you know, gravitate towards you. You seem very honest, very straightforward. A lot of people will tell you what you want to hear. And I think you would really tell them the truth.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me coming from you. I really mean that. Thank you.
You can feel it. Can't you feel it, Lay?
Yeah, she definitely seemed authentic.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. You know, it comes a time when you're in the music industry or any type of industry, you know, you just got to put your foot down.
Yeah.
Say, no, this is going like this, or it's not going at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when you build up a reputation of non-tolerance, they respect that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I will agree with you, Lay. I had to get there though. When I was younger, I was a pistol. So nothing.
You mentioned something earlier
before you
about basketball player and a basketball coach, which is what is represent a player and an agency.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people try to go with the best agency, but that's not always the right thing.
Right.
And I'm going to use for an example, LeBron James.
Okay.
He didn't go to an agency. He got a friend of his that he knew, went to college, didn't know anything about the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what people said? You got to be crazy. Said, man, you got him and you crazy. Don't you know he's right now one of the most sought out agency to get? He paid him $1 billion in a couple of years.
Yeah.
But you know what, Lee? LeBron trusted this guy.
That's
right. You know, trust is everything, because you hear so many artists. I know, what's his name? Steve Harvey. What's the other guy? Ricky Smiley. They trusted these agents to pay their taxes. They didn't pay the taxes. They took the money and put it in their pocket.
That's right.
You know, so trust is everything. You know, in any relationship, especially you know music.
A lot of time, us at Minority think if we're going to get a better agency, it's got to be a white agency, and that's not the case.
Correct. I have to agree with that.
It's not the case.
Yeah.
You might know a friend that is more, is more on their hustle game and the agency.
Yes. Yeah. I would say, I think at the end of the day, what it comes down to is integrity. You know, you gotta, and maybe perhaps, you know, to your point, like he's gonna choose somebody that he knows has integrity. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the Oprah Gail thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Gail, she's not at all impressed. It's not gonna go down. She doesn't really care. She's gonna ride with her friend. You know, that's her bestie.
Right.
She loves this woman like as if they were blood sisters. So you're gonna be hard pressed to find her, in my opinion, being in anything that is like opposing or not in the best interest of Oprah Winfrey. So I think that if you know you got that person and a friend, I do the same thing. I do the same thing. Yeah.
That's right. And plus, you know that person, you know how they hustle game it, you know how they grind. I'm gonna give you a prime example. Like, and we going off just a little bit of something else.
Go for it.
The Amigos, right? When they was coming out, they really didn't have a record label.
Who's that?
The Amigos.
Okay, the Amigos. Okay.
Yeah, they didn't have a record label, but they were making so much noise. Yeah. But like I said, the record label keep their eyes to the streets and the ears. So they were calling them every day. And they were saying, listen, we don't need a record label. They were calling them every day.
Right.
So they got to a point, they said, man, let me pick up this phone and talk to them and see what's on their mind, because they calling me all the time.
Right. Do something.
So what happened, they said, well, come on down to the office and let's talk. So he said, all right, come on. They had the contract and everything waiting there. They said, well, you know, what could y'all do for me that I can't do for myself?
Right. Right.
He said, well, really, we really can't do anything for you, but we can connect you to our label, and that means a lot.
Right.
The brother said, man, listen. He said, I took the deal, man. So they said, why you took the deal? He said, goddamn, because they were calling me every goddamn day.
Wow.
But I'm saying that to say, they want all the top artists that's out there, and they will do anything, any means necessary to get them. But when you got money, you don't need a record label, because all a record label going to do is give you advance and also pay for your advertising and promotion. Now you got to understand, how much do it cost to advertise and promote to the highest level? $250,000 to $300,000. That's it. So if you already got $1 million, you don't need a record label.
Right, but how many people is that?
Once you get the first team that do the advertising and promotion for $250,000, that's who you keep.
Yeah,
they're gonna get you out there. They're gonna make sure you be on the billboard on the top 5, if not the top first.
Yeah.
What's your response to that, Joya?
A video ain't gonna cost you probably what, couple $100,000.
If you have an iPhone, it won't cost you that much. It won't cost you $50.
Yeah, but you got and you're right. But you could get somebody that have like 5 years in experience and have them video yourself. It depends on what you're looking for.
Exactly. For Joya, what's your response to that? Because that was kind of my next question with YouTube and social media, Spotify, all these different avenues to push your music out. Do you think artists really need a record label nowadays?
I always say, like, the music business is a rich man's game. That's the first thing. Let's establish that off the top. Because I think sometimes we want to make it feel like, oh, okay, for the love of it. Right. That time has come and gone. We are in a digital age now with technology and metadata. And so when you talk about being an artist, what you think about is going in the studio. What you don't think about is I'm going to say the anatomy of the song, protecting your IP, your intellectual property. If you upload it to TuneCore and TuneCore populates the ISRC code and the UPC code, well, hold on. I just did a reel about this, or I did like a post, and I was saying it reminds me of Paid in Full when Ace showed up to the bodega and the guy was like, "What was this? My birthday? It's not my birthday. I'm feeling very special, but why you just gonna give me something? So it's like." But you're not thinking of it in terms of that. So it's like if you have organizations that are charging for the ISRC and charging for the UPC, charging $250 for the license for the UPC, and then charging you for the UPC per song. If you meet a company and they say, "Oh, don't worry about it, just upload it. We're gonna pay for both." That should make your light bulb go off in your head. Like, well, what I do to deserve this? It's not my birthday. Why you want to be so generous to me? Well, you're gonna upload
your birthday,
and you're gonna pay for both. So I just say that it's you have to just know about the business. You have to understand what a master recording really is. You have to understand what it is to be a rights holder. What does that really mean? What does it mean? Not just getting publishing checks, but what does it mean for you to, hold the masters? That means you're at the helm of licensing, mechanical licensing, sync licensing, master licensing, performance royalties, everything. So, micro sync, all of it. So because that is the business of music.
So you're saying it's very complex. It's more than just downloading to YouTube and Spotify. It sounds very, very complex, especially the business.
Jamila Jay, it's more than $20 million. And I know I'm shortchanging this number, but there's over $20 million of unclaimed revenue for songwriters. Look it up. Whomever is listening right now, I want you to go and Google music black box royalties. That is a term that is used to represent a large pool of money that is floating in the ether from music that's been distributed that doesn't have correct files or naming conventions, or it's all broken up. It's not registering with the global reader. I'm gonna just put it like that. And so it's lost. The revenue's lost. They don't know who to pay. And so it just accumulates. And so what they've done is, at a certain period of time, all of the labels, however many there are now, say, okay, well, nobody's coming to get it. We don't know who to give it to. So let's just
divide it up.
Let's divide it.
Yeah. Wow.
Nobody's going to claim it. We don't know who it belongs to. Belongs to somebody, but
music black what?
Music black box royalties.
So these are people that maybe put things on YouTube or on social media, but don't have the proper registration. Where's all this music coming from?
Mm-hmm. It could be coming from various places, but what happens is music has to be music. Music is just files, right? Really, that's all music is. Music is a file extension, an MP3, an MP4, a wave. All of that is files. Now what you choose to do with it? Are you going to download it? Are you going to stream it where it's on automatic replay? But what happens is the music has to be named, coded, and encrypted a certain way before it's online everywhere. Tidal,
yeah,
wherever. And so if it's not correct, once you pump it out there, then that reader, I'm just going to call it like a global satellite. It doesn't know if it's playing somewhere in Switzerland or if it's playing on BBC. The reader is not catching, you know what I'm saying? It may be catching the spins, but it's not catching whose music is this? Who does this belong to? And
anybody can pick it up.
You know what? Something just came to mind. My dad was a musician, and we were in Red Lobster. It was me, my sister, and our kids, and we heard one of Daddy's songs come on over the Red Lobster. That's probably. I'm gonna go to that magic box and look for our royalties. I never could figure out how they got my dad's music.
Right.
But I knew that was my dad's song. We was like, that's Daddy. Where'd they get this from?
So that's
my God.
That's a great question. So
education is something else.
No, that's really good. Now you onto something, because that's a license. So if like you say, you were in Red Lobster, you just eating, you just heard it. So
you know how they have the music playing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's if they weren't playing Pandora, which I'm hard pressed to believe that they were, right? It's like that's a license that has to be obtained. So if you look now, if you could just Google music industry and then just hit enter. When it pops up, just click news, click the news, and you'll be able
he was a blues singer.
All of everything right now that's happening is a lot of these artists are selling their rights. They're selling the rights to their music. So it gives other organizations like, I'm not gonna go deep down that wormhole, but there's a company called Hypnosis that recently partnered with another company called Songclip, excuse me. Hypnosis, this guy, he used to be a manager back in the days, used to manage some popular acts. He went on to figure out how to create music as an asset class, because Wall Street investors wanted to invest their money in something that was going to be a sure shot with low risk. So this guy started buying up all of these artists' publishing rights. And so now he owns over 80,000 songs. He's paid out.
Guess who owned Elvis catalog?
Right. Now I can't speak to that because I don't know if he owns Elvis's catalog, but he owns a lot of people's music. But I'm just saying that to say that he buys the rights because now they belong to him. So he can license that music as he sees fit because he owns it.
Wow.
Well, guess who owned Elvis catalog?
Is it Shaq?
Shaq.
Yeah.
That's right.
Wow.
Guess who owned Uptown 21? Shaq.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you know what I meant to ask you when you first came on? Are you still singing?
Yes, absolutely.
Is it all right for you to do an acapella for us?
No.
That was a quick one. So if they wanted to hear your music, where can they go?
We want to hear a cappella.
If they want to hear my music, then they can go to This Is JOYA Official. And you can hear, some of the older stuff. Yes, I'm a recording artist, but right now I'm just allowing God to use me for something else. I'll go back and I'll do that because I would never shy away from something that God has given me. But at the same time, at this time in my life, I think he sees fit to have me do something else right now. So let me let the light shine on these artists. I think I've had enough light shining on me. So I just want to kind of, stand in the background for a second while they can receive some applause.
Listen, I have a lot of people right now asking for a cappella. Are you going to let your fans down?
Fans? Who's
that? Blaze fans. See, you have a beautiful voice. Because I was listening. Honestly, they have to go to her website. She has a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
Numerous of time, and they said, "Well, we haven't heard her voice. We heard Jamila say how good she was. So I mean, that's up to you. You don't have to. You don't want to. But you're not letting me down or Jamila down. You're letting down your fans."
Of course. No, I'm not letting them down. Y'all have me back for part 2, and then part 2, I'm definitely I'm your girl on part 2.
Part 2, you gonna be ready?
Definitely part 2. Yeah. Your music is the music I heard on your website. It's like love. I love it. It's about love and all that good stuff. So, and your voice is very smooth. It's very smooth.
I appreciate that.
It's nice. It's some nice music. If you want to hear some nice music, definitely go to where?
This is JOYAofficial.com.
Okay,
and you can stream everything or download it or just listen to it. I think everything on the website should be there so you can listen. And if you just want to have it, then you can download it for 99 cents or something like that.
Yeah. It's really, especially on the day like today, I'm gonna download it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And next time, I got you, King.
No. Wait a minute. Let me straighten something out right now. You are an artist. You are a writer. You've been in the industry a certain period of time.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you what I used to do when I take my artist somewhere or I take my model somewhere, and I take them around people that's in the industry that's up there. And I used to tell them yo, I got a model right here, or I have an artist right here.
Yes.
He sing or he rap. And they say, Lane, he sing or he rap? I said, yeah. He said, well, have him sing something right now.
Sure, absolutely.
And when they do that, I train my models and my artists. I train them to go at any time.
Yes.
They don't sit around and say, oh, I don't know what to sing or I don't know how to walk. No, they go right off the rip, even if it's freestyle. Well, and you know what they say? Yo, bring them down to the office, so and so and so and so.
Absolutely. Well, let me say this. I know how to combat that.
Oh, please do.
No. You asked for it.
But no, wait.
No, you asked for this, Lay.
No.
You asked for this. You take this.
No.
Take this what you got coming, King.
It's not for me. It's for the fans that ask it.
No. I want you to receive it too. Now you're gonna be on the blessing end, right?
This is bigger than me. It's your fans.
That part is what I'm trying to say. So you know what I'm saying? You sit back, you soak this thing up too. Now you in it. You can't throw the rock hat in.
But I'm more of a
you in it.
Yeah, well, all right, you can pick me in it. It's fine with me. But your fans is the one that's buying your music, is coming to your events, is buying your merch.
But see, you know what? I understand her perspective. She is not here as an artist. She's here as an entrepreneur. She's here as trying to let God move her in the right direction.
What is an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
What is
that's what you're as. So I get it. Huh?
What is an entrepreneur?
Like
no, I mean you wear different hats. You wear different hats.
And an entrepreneur is one that wears different hats. One of our hats is an artist.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. One of my hats is an artist, but I wanted to answer. I want to answer you because I feel like
answer your fans. Answer
you deserve that. You deserve that, and let me just answer it in this manner. Somebody told me long ago. Somebody told me something long ago. I never forgot it. They said,
I got an answer for that also.
One day, you're going to get to the point, if you survive. I was in Harlem on 125th Street. I never forgot it. They say one day, if you survive, if you make it, you'll get to the point, right, where you're able to know when to put that hat on and when to take it off, JOYA. Because sometimes you're going to have to wear it and sometimes you're going to have to sit it down, right? And today is one of those times. Now, I'm just going to tell you, part 2, I'm here for you. I am here for you. But on this day right here, and I want everybody, whoever is out there asking for me to, give you a serenade. I'm here for you. I got you. But just please know, I love you so much dearly. But right now, I'm just being called to do just something else. I haven't forgotten about music. I swear to you, I would tell you. If you know me, if you follow me, I'm very matter of fact. I'm not afraid. I'm not a pushover. You know that, right? I'm going to speak my mind, be very vocal. But just right now, I'm just trying to, just be obedient to God. So
when's the music on your website? How old is that?
That's I think the most recent recording was maybe I want to say 4 years ago. 3 to 4 years ago. Yeah. Some of the stuff that plays automatically, that's the stuff we use to get the deal with Cobalt. So that was like 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Really nice. Really nice music. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah. I really do love it. I love it. Yeah. I love it. So I have to compartmentalize, right? Because it's like if my clients are like, wait a minute. You trying to help me with my career, or are you trying to be an artist? Which one you trying to do?
Yeah, I get you.
So I have to pick my times when that's gonna happen. Yeah. So I have to honor them. I respect them a great deal. And so right now I've given them my word that this is what I'm doing. I'm here to help them.
So we're winding down, and Leigh, I'm glad you asked her to sing because I was going to ask her, but she told you no, and so I'm glad I didn't ask her
she
anyway.
Didn't tell me no. Wait a minute.
Yeah. So we're gonna wind down the show. We're gonna get the last.
She didn't tell me no.
We're gonna get the last word. Leigh, give you the last word, JOYA. If you wanted to say something we didn't ask you about, or you just want to tell people again about your friendship society, how they can reach you. But Leigh, go ahead. You get the last word, then JOYA, and then we'll be out. Okay. Go ahead, Leigh.
Well, again, I'm just a messenger of God. I'm just a messenger of the community. I'm going to do what the community asks of me to do through the word of God. Now, it's just like Jesus. Jesus said, I'm going to take the message to the people. They could accept it or reject it. But he already did his job. And I just did mine. That's all.
Amen.
Amen.
Joya, it's been a joy. I love your name. If I had more
Thank
kids,
you
I
both.
love Jay name, so definitely
that's
would.
definitely an attractive name. I have to
I
admit.
love that. I love that name.
Thank
I've
you
never
guys.
heard of that. I've never
I
heard that
want to
name.
definitely look you up.
Yeah.
Please do. And I appreciate you, Lay, and I appreciate you, Jamila Jay. Thank you guys. I was so excited about coming here, and
I
Oh,
want
we
you to
got
be.
you.
I want you to be excited next time, Jamila. Let's hurry up and put her on the calendar.
Well, when she's ready, I understand. You know, it has to be in her time. She
Well,
has to get her. You know what, Lay? She's the type. She got to have her music ready. She got to have that singing,
she's gonna have
vibe, the hair, the makeup.
That's
The
fine.
little sequins, that gown. You got to be a character. You know,
We're booked up to a
with
certain
every.
period of time now.
She's home. She's home. You
Listen,
know that, Joya. You're home.
Joya, let me ask
So
you a question.
anytime you want to come on and you
Joya,
feel like giving us some of that baby making music you sing, we'll be here.
baby, making me. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait.
Yes, that's what I'm
Joya,
talking about.
Joya,
I mean, anytime, we
Joya,
got you.
let me ask
And
you.
you want to bring any of your artists on? Oh, excuse me, Lam. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Joya, let me ask you a question.
yes, King.
Right after the show, could Jamila get with you and book you for at least another month or something?
Jamila can absolutely.
There you go. See, that's what I like. I don't like all the rhetoric. I like getting to the point and getting it done, and let's move on.
Yes.
That's a man thing. We women, we got to get into character. We got to get in the mood. We got to light the candles, right, Joya? We got to,
listen,
nice as well.
Wait a minute.
I'm on this next time. I'm going to have my ponytail.
Exactly.
It's gonna be pulled up, baby.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Leave a little bit hanging down.
We gotta get out as soon as possible. Then.
In the meantime, go to JOYA Official, and you can get in the mood that way by yourself.
What is your Instagram?
She'll be back.
Yes.
Absolutely. What is your Instagram?
Oh, Instagram is the Friendship Society. And I wanted to tell everybody with this fourth quarter, we're really working with artists to get them ready for 2023 Q1. And right now we've decided to do Pay What You Want with the Master Strategy class. So if you go to my website, thefriendshipsociety.com, you're able to pick that option. And you can just pay what you want, and we'll work it out. We'll work it out with you, with your strategy, your plan, and we'll sit down and we'll talk to you about music monetization, your dates, your touring, your merch, everything.
I can't get it.
NFTs, all that good stuff.
Do you work with models, Joya?
Yes, I work with everybody.
Yeah, okay, models, everybody
in entertainment. If you're an actor, anything that you do that is in the creative realm, yes. It's just my foundation, of course, is in music, but marketing and promoting is marketing and promoting.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
I see a lot of posters and stuff like that. Oh, Joya,
we can go there. We can go there after she has her last word. Did you have any last words you want to say to the audience, or
just thank everybody. Thank you, Sky. I appreciate you, Sky. That's my NABFM sister. Yes. Thank you guys just for thank you, Jamila Jay, and thank you, Lay. I appreciate you guys having me on Choice TV on Girls Talk. It's been a pleasure. And if anybody's out there, if you know of any artists that are out there, please support them. Do what you can to support them. Stream their music. They need your encouragement. And just support them, please. That's important. Music is the soundtrack to our lives. So we really want to wrap our arms around these artists, especially these younger artists that are coming up, and just let them know that, you know, their dreams matter. So that's what I wanted to say. And thank you for having me again.
Oh, thank you. And you're gonna come back. You
I
know,
am.
you're home. You're
Well,
home.
well,
Definitely
listen,
coming
And
back.
I was going to say, if you have any artists that you want to bring on, you know, that would be wonderful to give them an opportunity to put the spotlight on them to give them the exposure they need. So you just
Absolutely.
never know who's
Yes.
watching.
I would
uh,
love to do that. I have an artist. It's funny you say that. I have an artist just on the wrap it up end of it. I kept saying no management, no management, no management, no management. But then I met this kid from New York, Connecticut area. His name is Bennett. He's a sweet soul, a very sweet soul. I'll tell you about him, you know, but perhaps, you know, if it's okay with you, we can, when we come back, maybe I'll bring Bennett back. But
Yeah,
he's just a beautiful, he's a beautiful soul. Very beautiful soul. So
absolutely.
great things.
Absolutely. Whenever your schedule permits, we'll work it out. But I enjoyed this conversation. You know,
Yeah.
our goal is to enlighten, educate, and entertain. I hope we did all three today, but definitely I know that you have educated some people in the music industry, and especially me, now that I know where to try to find my daddy's music so we can get that royalty check, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So that's important, you know, because so much of our music, our talent is taken, you know, and somebody else is getting the check for it. So
Where's
now
your
it's our
dad from?
uh, Berkeley, Oakland. Yeah.
Okay. Berkeley. Okay. I have
This
something for you offline, the way that you can check it.
okay. Now this was about maybe 10, 15, maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
This was before all the social media, you know, that really, you know, has taken over. But yeah, but
Yeah.
we enjoyed you, your home, your
Thank
family. When we come to Atlanta, we're gonna run up on you. So be
Please.
ready.
I'm gonna be like this. Lay.
no, I'm coming. No,
Jamila
listen.
Jay.
Listen. I'm coming down there now. A lot of people have been trying to get me to come down there. I wouldn't come. Right now, I'm coming down there.
You coming down
You
there. All
gotta
right.
come as soon as you get down here. As soon as you get down here. I mean, you ain't getting out the airport good. Don't even set foot in the Uber. I got some grits. I'm gonna have some shrimp, some grits.
Listen,
Okay.
I'm really coming down there now.
It's a pleasure, Joya. I know this is your Sunday, and we just appreciate you so much. So
Thank
our
you.
last thing we do, we always say a prayer. Lay's gonna say a prayer, then we're gonna peace out. Okay, so bless
Listen,
everybody.
your IG is the Friendship Society, correct?
Yes.
We'll do that after we pray. We'll
Okay,
hook
well,
her.
you go ahead. You go ahead and close it out with the prayer, Jamel.
Okay. You know, we're so thankful for this day, God. You know, we meet strangers, but then strangers become friends and family. So we're just grateful today. We're grateful for another day that we are allowed to open our eyes and just have this fellowship. And people need to know about music because we are God. We're here to praise God. And I know we are the music industry leaders. So we just want to thank God for Joya. Bless her this week. Keep her safe. God bless Lay, all our viewers, all our followers, the people that will see this on My TV 26. God, let them be blessed. And we just thank you for another week and cover us this next week. And so we're gonna peace out in Jesus' name. Y'all ready?
Amen.
Okay, amen. You ready, Lay?
Yeah, I'm
So we're
definitely.
gonna go 1, 2, 3. We all gonna say peace together, Julia. You ready? All right. 1, 2, 3.
Peace.
Peace. All right. That's it.
Joya, you make sure you hold on.
Okay.
Jamila, you got us out?
Not yet, Lay. Hold on.